And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guest is Gene-Paul Thompson, who communicated with two energy beings during his near-death experience, and today we're going to learn about it. Gene-Paul, thank you for joining me and welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Well, if you don't mind, let's just start on the day that it happened and go from there.
I remember walking to my bedroom in my home, and that was like 1998, 99. And I was walking, and I had fallen straight down, and my soul left my body. And I'm getting the goosebumps of this now. I remember seeing myself, my body laying there. And I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I started to rose up above my body. And I saw, I'm 90% deaf, and I could hear conversations in the neighbor's house. I could see far, far away. Anywhere that I focused, I could see and hear. And I was like, did I get my hearing back? And within a few seconds, I was probably about 12 feet in the air, looking down at my body. And next thing I know, I was passing through like a hazy fog cloud type substance. And it wasn't a tunnel that some people go through. And I was in this plane of a hazy plain field of nothing but like light blue and white. And there I saw two beings of silhouettes. I could see their silhouettes and bright energy, colorful energy coming from the center of them. And I kind of knew them, but I didn't know them. And when I found out, those were my spirit guides, two of my main spirit guides. I went to speak to them, and I couldn't speak. It was all telegraphic. Like they spoke through my mind. And I asked what was going on. I'm not religious. And I was told that you didn't have to be religious. I was told that religion had nothing to do with it. And love was the difference. And believing in the light was the difference. So at that moment, I saw a pin light ahead of me. The two silhouette beings of light were to the left of me. They were probably about 6 feet tall. I did not see any faces, but they felt beautiful. I could feel their energy and their love and their peace, and we knew each other. I saw this pin light from a distance get closer and closer and closer, and it got brighter and brighter. Like almost like looking at the sun, but you were not blinded from looking at the light. It was just amazing. And as it got close to me, I'm getting the wicked goosebumps from it now. It let me know who it was, and says, I know you. And I knew who it was. It didn't have to say I'm God or Jesus or whatever you want to call it, universal energy. It's all the same. And it spoke to me through telegraphic. And I asked, I go, what's going on? I go, I'm not really religious. I didn't know what was about 5 different spiritual practices. And I liked a little bit of different stuff. And it showed me a big circle of many different spiritual or religion practices, Christian, Buddha, everything. And it told me it didn't matter what I chose, long as I believed in the light. So it's all the same. It's just different life experiences happen to different people based on what they choose to follow. Everything is good as long as you believe in the light. So it didn't say one religion or spiritual practice was right or wrong. But we're all going to have different life experiences here on Earth based on what we choose to follow. And I asked, I saw a screen of my life. And at that time in my life, I was drinking a lot to try to bury some personal childhood experiences that I had that weren't so nice. And I was trying to bury those thoughts in my mind and deal with it. I even went to my priest about it, and he told me it was the devil putting thoughts in my head. I talked to the priest afterwards about my experience, and he said it's the devil at work, it's not God, and all this stuff. And I had spoke to, when I was having my conversation, I saw my life review, and it showed me the path that I was currently on, and it showed me a path, if I did not have this addiction, what my life would be like. And I said, well, I don't know how to cope with this past experience, and I've been drinking to bury, those thoughts that were coming to me. And it had said to me, so you have the freedom and the choice of your path that you want to go on. You can choose this side, this is your result, which was not. And then it showed me the other path. I never did drugs or anything. I just drank a lot. And I said, well, I need help with this. Could you help me? And I was told, yes. I was told that when I come back to my body, that I would be healed from it. And I said, thank you. And I said, I've been, deaf my whole life. Could I have my hearing back? And I was told that I was chosen to have this disability of part of my life experience here on earth. And because I have it, that I would, if I was to get my hearing back as a gift, I would lose some of the talents that I agreed to have here on this life experience. So I was like, no, I don't want to lose my talents, I keep on with my disability if that's the agreement that we had prior to coming to Earth. And, I started to think of all the questions that I never got answers to since I was a little kid. Within a split of a second, all the answers to every little thing that I even thought of or had questions about flew right through my whole body. Within a split of a second, I knew the answer to everything that I ever wanted to know at that time. And we were going over some very personal things that I got misled to during studying some religions. And when I talked to the higher priests about stuff, they had told me that it was the devil working, you're going to go to hell and all this stuff. And I told it like that. And it said, I know who you are before you came to Earth. You need to live your life and be fully happy with who you are. And a lot of things happen on Earth to control other people. But regardless of what you were told, it said that love is the difference, and put love into everything in life, and you will see it blossom. And if you don't put love into everything, it will fail. And I said, some friends, having a hard time on Earth because some of them are straight, some people are gay, some people are bi, and they're having a hard time with religion and that kind of stuff. What do I tell them? And it told me that I know who you are before you came to Earth. I made you. And tell those people to be who they are. And that I don't love them any less. And I was told that it wasn't my time. And I says, I really want to stay. I want to see more. And I told her, you must return. I returned to my body without any fight. Within the split of a second, my soul was back in my body. And I remember getting up off, I didn't get up off the ground. I was laying there and I was completely paralyzed. I couldn't move my arms, couldn't move nothing but my eyes. And I was like, oh no, I'm paralyzed. I couldn't move. I laid there for like 15 minutes, still couldn't move. And I remember the telegraphic thought, how we were communicating. And I said, help, help, I can't move, I can't move. Those two beings of light showed up right in front of me. And I don't know if you can see it, I get the goosebumps now.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at me, like they faced me, and I saw the light coming from them, and I was free from moving. I didn't get my hearing back, but I was free from moving. And I went to the doctors and told them what happened. They didn't believe me. I said, well, can you check my heart, my lungs, all this stuff? And they found nothing wrong. And since that day, it was several years, I never had a drink. I didn't have a drink again for like several years. To this day, I still don't drink hard liquor. And this has been 20-something years now. And I drink like 2 beers, and that's it. I cut it off. So I have a lot of control of my life and where it's going. Because I saw where my life was going, and I didn't want that. And I'm very grateful for the fact that it helped me or healed me out of the addiction that I had. So I didn't even have a craving, nothing. I was like, wow. So that's amazing. And since that experience, every time I would go to bed at night, I felt this swirling going on above my head. And then I was like, what is this? And then I was hearing other voices, and I didn't know what it was. And then since I was a kid, I was always able to see some sort of silhouette or someone who had passed away. I've always saw ghost kind of thing since I was a kid. That was normal. But after this experience, it really intensified. I was communicating, but I didn't understand what was going on because it would bother me only at night when I go to bed. And I turned to God and I said to him, I says, I don't know what all this is. Can you stop it? And from that point on, I never had the experience again. And now as an adult, I understand communication with the spirit world much better. And it's something I practice now. And I'm trying to turn that light switch back on. So sometimes nowadays I get communication, sometimes I don't. It's not something I can call upon. It just happens when it happens, or I have a knowing of something without anybody saying anything. If someone calls me or someone is in front of me, I pick up communication with them on a spiritual level, and I know what they were going to say far before they even told me. And I end up telling them what it was. Or I tell them what it is before they even tell me. And they're like, how'd you know that? Nobody knows that. So that's something I have now. I'm trying to work on it and turn that light switch back on now that I'm older and I understand things. And I gotten this tattoo. It says timeless. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And the roses represent love and peace that I felt with the light that I can't even describe. And timeless is while you're physically here on earth, when you leave, time does not exist. But I've got to say, I can't forget anything that has happened. during that experience. I mean, you forget a lot of things in life, but when you have a near-death experience and you communicate with the light and the spirit guides, there's no forgetting. Like I remember like it happened 30 seconds ago. So that's really most amazing thing ever. And since then, I've had 3 heart issues. The doctors can't find out why or what happens. They can't come up with a conclusion that's causing it. I've had pericarditis of the heart. I had a heart attack. And I tell the doctors, I signed a DNR because I'm not afraid to go back. Because you do not feel any pain when you leave your body. Like I saw my body hit the ground and I was already out of my body. I didn't feel no pain at all. It was the most beautiful experience ever. And I wish I could, sometimes it's maybe bad to say, but I wish I could have that experience again. But I'm not going to make it happen.
Yeah.
It happens when it happens. But I did a painting of something very similar to my experience. Though on my painting, I put little wings on the beings of light, but I did not see wings. I saw silhouettes of the body with light coming from them. But I can show you my painting if you would like.
That would be great. So is that supposed to be you in the middle and then the beings are around you?
So yeah, that's yes. That was me returning home, coming back to Earth.
Well, Gene-Paul, thank you for sharing your experience with us. Now,
Awesome.
Have you been 90% deaf since birth?
I was 50% at birth, and as I got older, listening to a lot of loud music, headphones, loud music, playing in the band, drums, made my hearing worse. So I wear hearing aids now, and that helps me a lot better. But at some point, I may not be able to rely on them.
So
And that's okay. It's part of my experience here.
So during your experience, you could hear perfectly, right?
I could hear perfectly, even beyond perfectly. Any direction I looked, like I remember when I left my body and I rose above ceiling height, I could see my neighbor's house. I focused right in. I could hear their conversation. I could see them through the walls. I could see across the whole city that I was in. And I could see details of different people or different things going on so far away. I mean, I wish I had that vision here and now.
Yeah. So at the time of your NDE, were you 90% deaf?
I was about 70.
70. Okay. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You understood that those 2 beings were your spirit guides. Did they tell you that,
Correct.
or did you figure that out later?
I got the telegraphic communication through me that they were my 2 guides, that they were been with me my whole life.
Did you happen to know them from a past life, perhaps?
That I honestly don't know.
All right.
I have no memory of that. I mean, if I had another near-death experience, I have a million questions more to ask. Now that I'm an adult and I understand things a lot better than I did when I was 20.
Are you saying that the light is God?
Whatever you want to call it, in my personal perspective, it is God. I don't give it a name. And I tell you the other thing, when it spoke to me, I couldn't differentiate whether it was a male or a female. I couldn't tell. I was like, oh, I go. And then later I found out that as humans, different, I don't know how to say it, differentiate genders because we're humans. Spirits, I guess, that have not lived on Earth don't have a gender.
Right.
They're just spirits of energy. And one other question I remember asking before, one of the questions I had after my life review was, I'm like, why do little babies and children suffer and die so early? They don't have a chance to live life. I was told that we all come to Earth for a period of time, regardless how long we've been here, because that moment makes a change in some shape or form, changes someone, changes people, regardless of how long we've been here. We've been here for a time being, and that's what we agreed to come at, regardless of how long we've been here. We're all here for whether a few days, a few years, or several years. Everybody comes at the time that they agreed to come and leave. And then the other thing I said, well, people suffer from, little kids dying so quickly. And I was told that that's the soul agreement. And I was told that it's already planned. For the most part, most things are already planned on how you're going to die and how you're not. I don't consider it death because we continue to live as on the other side. We just leave our bodies here. But I don't consider it death because we continue to live. But it was really an amazing experience. And, I sometimes wish I could have that experience again.
Do you know what your purpose is here? And if so, what is it?
I do not know my full purpose here. I wish I did. But my theory is if we all knew our purpose, we would rush through life to get to that moment, and then our life would be over. So if we knew everything, a lot of people would be in a rush to make those events happen so their time is up quicker. But everything happens in when it's supposed to happen. It's us humans that put time on everything, not the universe.
Do you remember any of your other questions that you had that you got the answers to?
Yes. Let's see. Some of the questions I had is like, one of them was, I did not know who my biological father is. I still do not know to this day. I never got the answer to that, but I was told that that didn't matter. It's who spends the quality time in your life becomes your father. If you are, I was explained, just because by blood and DNA does not make someone your father or your mother or your relative, but those people that are close to you become your family. It's like you adopt them. That is, I was at a very young age, from 3 to 7 years old, was by my mom's boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that caused a lot of confusion in life for me. And I remember that's one of the reasons why I drank, is I was trying to wash those memories away and thoughts that I had. I never once had thought of doing that same thing to anybody else. And the other thing I remember is all the good we bring people. We feel the love and the love that we've done for other people. But when we cause pain for other people, we feel that pain that we cause for other people. So it's like God is like a drone that flies around you 24/7 and video records every moment of your life. And that's how they're able to do a whole life review, really. And I was told that you have to just keep positive thoughts, keep positive mind. Love is the difference. And don't worry about, what other people say or anything else. I mean, when I was going through those challenges, I had spoke to the priest about, and he had told me that that it was the devil talking, and you're going to go to hell because you were thinking same-sex interest when you were a kid. And when God told me that it knew me before I was born, to live my life and to be happy for who I am and put love into everything. And so I got really confused on some religions that were saying, oh, that's evil, all those things. When I told the priest after my near-death experience about what happened and what God told me, he said, well, that's not what the Bible said. I said, well, God didn't write the Bible. People wrote the Bible. I go, there could be good parts of it that are very true and that are good. But I think, like God told me, is people say things here on earth to control others. And if it knows who you are before you come to earth, and it knows who you are, just be who you are, regardless. So that lifted a huge blanket off me. And, I don't have any guilt or any shame. My whole family knows my whole story, and they like me for who I am.
That's great. After your life review and seeing parts of your life again, did it kind of make you reevaluate what had happened previously and then have a new conclusion of what happened?
Let me try to understand what your question is. It made me realize that I was making choices of my own to go down that path. And I am grateful that it healed me from the ability to stop drinking the hard liquors that I was drinking daily. I mean, I was drinking a bottle of vodka. Um, After that moment, when I came back, I didn't have another drink. And it did change me a lot in a lot of ways, because how I viewed life, how I interact with people, regardless of who you are, I try to be the nicest and the decent person I can be. Sometimes people get on your nerves, but I'm very cautious about what I do and how I treat people, because I got to answer for that when I cross over. So my whole philosophy and mindset is just be the best person you can be the best human you can be, because it'll pay off when you cross over. I don't want to go through and feel all the pain and everything that I caused people before. So if I live a better life now, which is a choice, then I'll be in better hands when I cross over once again.
You said that you don't forget your NDE, but do you find yourself thinking about it a lot, and even perhaps that you can't escape it?
That is true. I do think about it every single day. I personally myself watching psychic mediums all the time, like Matt Fraser and a few others well known. I watch a lot of near-death experiences too, because I like to hear other people's experience. And from listening and watching other people's experience, a lot of people, regardless of your culture, your religion, your race, we have very similar experiences. Some people have a little more intense experience than others. Some people don't remember anything, but I'm fascinated with it. Like I said, if I could have another one and schedule it for tomorrow, I would. I have no fear at all.
You talked about that they gave you the choice of coming back and hearing perfectly, but you'd have to lose some of your ability. Can you talk a lot about that a little more?
Yes, I am an artist. I've been well recognized from a lot of people since I was a kid of my talent of drawing and hyperrealism and stuff like that. And that is one of the biggest talents I have. That is one of my strengths. And the other thing is I have the talent to do almost anything once, and I master it. I'm really good at a lot of different things. And that made life hard because I never knew what path to take as far as career goes, because I was so good at so many different things. So art for me is, this is my art studio, is a way for me to focus on what I really love. And that was one of my biggest talents. So, when I talked about I would lose my talent if I got my hearing back. And this is my passion. And I agreed to have my hearing loss prior to coming to Earth. So you have to, if I got my hearing back, what about my talent?
Yeah.
I could live on Earth fine without my hearing, but I need my talent.
Right.
And still doing some of this artwork, like I could show you some pictures I've only drawn once in my whole life. It's the very first time I drew my dog. And I asked for guidance. I remember communicating, and I asked for guidance to teach me how to do things. I don't go to art school or anything. So I believe that the universe is helping me and teaching me how to become a better artist. So it works with me, and I've done amazing work. People just love my work. Like, how'd you do that? You ever done this before? I'm like, no, I'm just learning on my own. Like, how do you do that? So yes, that is a talent. That is a talent that was born into me. It's a talent that I believe that the universe light is also helping me become more better.
Has your ability to practice art changed after your NDE?
My ability to practice art is I learned to focus on the things that I'm naturally good at, not focus on the things that I'm not good at, not focus on the negative things that are going on in the world. So since my near-death experience, I've been able to focus because I remember that this is my gift. I need to work on it. And this is part of my life experience, is to be an artist. So I make it a priority to do my artwork, do the things that I'm good at. Because if you miss out on those important gifts, you're going to look back one day and say, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have focused on this instead of this. And you can't go back. You can only go forward. So everything that I know that I'm in my gut, that I know I'm good at, I focus on it. Because those are my talents.
What do you think inspires you about your NDE?
If you ever come face to face with the light, that's enough to inspire you. It is the most beautiful, amazing experience, the most unconditional love that no words on earth can even describe it. It's so powerful, it's so pure, it's non-judgmental. It's if you ever come face to face with it, you gotta say it's the most beautiful thing ever. So that inspires me. When you talk directly to God, when a lot of people don't have that opportunity, that inspires me. And I am very grateful.
Do you have a website? If people want to see your artwork, they can go there and look?
I did have a website. I'm not good at marketing myself, but some of my work is on Wild Air Art Studio on Instagram. So Wild, W-I-L-D, W-I-L-D Air, A-I-R, Art Studio on Instagram. And you'll see some of my work. I'm constantly creating new pieces so I can get some pictures and put up there. But I'm not good at marketing myself, like making a business kind of thing. So it's kind of word of mouth.
After watching this podcast, people may want to reach out to you and ask you questions. Are you open to that?
Absolutely. Sure.
What's the best way to contact you?
Let's see. Trying to think. I don't know if I go to my personal email or Instagram. Because my Instagram really is my art page. It has nothing to do with this kind of a thing. But if maybe on your end, if they ask questions, I can probably log in somehow and answer them. Does that work that way?
Well, what about your Facebook? If they can't ask you questions on Facebook,
you could do my Facebook. Gene-Paul Thompson, on Facebook. As you have me there, maybe they can send you the question to send to me or whatever. But yeah,
if you have a YouTube channel, they can always ask you questions in the comments, and then you can answer their question in the comments as well.
It's true. I don't have a YouTube channel yet. I should get one.
Yeah.
You
could show your artwork there.
I never thought of that one. I'm not really good at technology stuff. That's not my strength. But I have been working on capturing videos of me doing my artwork to create a YouTube channel eventually, but I haven't gotten enough footage yet to do that, but it's a plan.
Cool. All right. Well, before we finish up, can you leave us with one last positive message?
Absolutely. The very positive message that was given to me before I returned to Earth that I share with everybody is love is the difference. And put love into everything that you have. Put love into your cooking. Put love into your garden. Put love into just meeting new people and helping someone in need. Because all that love will pay off when you cross over. And so I say love is the difference, same words that were given to me.
That's a great message. Gene-Paul, thank you for being my guest today. I appreciate you and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.